Good evening. My name is Shachar Peled. This is another video in the series about faith and evolution, in which I discuss how evolution is the basis of all faith and, in fact, the criterion for all faith. And I am now into the third clip of this third chapter in this book that I am surveying. It's called The Life of the World. It's about faith and evolution. And we began speaking about learning as an evolutionary trait that is slowly appearing in the world over the past 600 million years. Where before learning, the blind, brainless course of evolution of nature red in tooth and claw is that slow bunnies are devoured and fast bunnies survive. Why? Because the slow ones are devoured by predators and the fast ones run away. But alongside the fast bunnies, the surviving fast bunnies, we will always find a few slower, older bunnies that have survived and managed to pass their genetic complement on, and these are the smart bunnies, the wise bunnies. For those who read Watership Hill? I think it was Watership Hill. It's a book about bunnies. The smart bunnies learned where to dig their holes, learned when to go out and forage and when they should maintain a low profile, and how to be very quiet. And they survived by learning. And learning is a non-specific ability that changes according to external circumstances and therefore cannot be hardwired. You have to leave it open. And the evolutionary pressure to develop the ability to learn is a basic universal pressure, which is the very secret of evolution and its amazing flexibility as expressed in memory and learning. The more a species is able to learn, the greater its chances of surviving in changing ecological niches and in various situations. The more a species is able to learn, so the influence of individuals on the survival ability of the entire species increases. We only need one person to invent the wheel. There's no need for more, because one person can give all of humanity the wheel. One person can bring us fire. One person can invent the zero. So once that person invents something and the species has an ability to learn, then that learning can help the species survive and expand its abilities without going through the blind alleys of evolutionary extinctions, without the pressures of life and death. Learning utilizes physiology to its utmost and enables the creature to realize its personal potential. Learning is always creative and personal, and because it depends on the circumstances of each individual's life. So the more individuals are different from each other, the more varied they are, the more the greater the possibility that each individual can contribute more to the general species. In this way, learning replaces genes as a way of adaptation, because learning makes us adapt in a personal fashion through our personality, through our culture. So psychological adaptation enables animals to exploit the tools that they've already received through their genetic heritage as they are. So they are always pushing the envelope of their genetic heritage, because once you learn, then you don't, your genetic heritage becomes just the basis. It's not the be-all and end-all of your life, because when your genes allow you to learn, when it's open-ended, then you can learn anything. You're not dependent, and humanity has taken it to the utmost. We don't have genes for flying or for swimming under the water, but we do, because we learn. Okay, it's stating the obvious, but the obvious is worth stating, because it is something that evolution invents, because it is something that is developing over millions of years until it finds its highest point in man. Okay, the third gradual development that we see, the third trend that we see in evolution for the past 600 million years, is that of parenthood, parenting. Parenting is something that brings out its full fruit, comes to full fruition in man. In parenting, we can see an additional parallel trend of the revelation of the other, another being, because there is a distinct differentiation between the investing parent and the invested offspring. And most of that distinction is along the line of care towards someone who is not me, who is an other. The more we track the arrow of evolution, the more we see how the trend of parenting becomes more salient, more prominent, both biologically, in which the protection given the embryo increases, both psychologically and behaviorally, as animals begin to invest more and more energy in fostering their offspring. Among fish and amphibians, writes Morgan, the eggs are fertilized in the water, where most of them provide free lunches for any passing predator. But among reptiles and birds, there is already a small wet world where the offspring can grow, completely wrapped in a shell that is water resistant before he is obliged to be exposed to air. Moreover, most birds are fantastic parents. They build nests for their eggs. They warm their eggs until they emerge, until the chicks emerge, until they hatch. And many species of birds also feed their chicks until they are ready to survive on their own. Farmer, another researcher, describes the great effort that is involved in parenting. Getting food for offspring is a central characteristic of parental fostering among all mammals and most birds. Although there is a distinct advantage to having the parents get food for their offspring, this requires the parents to get additional food. Thus, for example, in order to feed their chicks, flying parents, birds, have to get 3 times to 5 times the energy than adult birds who are not fruitful, and did not procreate, and therefore they must make greater efforts to get food. These efforts are sometimes really stunning. For example, there is a small European bird that when it gathers food for its chicks, it flies almost 1,000 kilometers back and forth to get the food. Another bird makes about 990 trips to the nest in order to feed its chicks. In order to raise a nest of chicks from the moment they hatch to the moment they take their first flight, another bird requires about 6,200 trips to get food. So we say that parenting takes a lot from creatures, and parenting is a spiritual thing because it not only sees the other, but it cares for the other. It wants the other to grow, to flourish, and that is already a tremendous force of morality that is pushing up from the biological, and again it will come to full fruition with man. We'll continue with this in the next video.